All right, everybody, listen up. I'm tired of these news broadcasts. That you know, there's a lot of things going on in the world, especially in the United States, and I'm following up everything that's happening. From time to time, they slip something in there in relation to the pandemic and COVID-19 and coronavirus and all this stuff, social distancing and whatever. And now I'm just watching, random news channels. Oh, we've just, discovered that this medicine is actually curing people or something, just, relieving people or curing. I don't, it didn't follow all the way through, but basically, it's helping patients who are affected with COVID-19 and all this stuff. And I'm tired of the news and the media not putting out the facts. Not putting out the facts about all this. Now, a lot of people already know that a lot of things have, a lot of doctors and professionals who have been posting on YouTube and social media talking about these things very scientifically, and they are very, they're professionals. They're talking about all this stuff about the virus and all this stuff that is exaggerated, and that some of them even said that that's not even true, and this and that, and they're stating the facts, and then they just get deleted. Well, I'm tired of seeing the news not talking about the facts. Here's the facts. Anybody can look up the facts. Very simple. Very, very simple, and you have to, because I'm tired of seeing people freaking out, covering their faces everywhere, when we now know, and we have known from the beginning, that there has never been a real threat. Let me explain myself. Don't dislike. Watch the video till the end. How many of you have ever heard of Carrie Mullis? Carrie Mullis? No? Anyone? You? Or for those who don't know, Carrie Mullis is the inventor of the PCR test. Better known as RT-PCR, but it's PCR nonetheless. How many of you know what the PCR test is? For those who don't know, the PCR test is the test that everyone is using around the world to test for COVID-19. When they take, they swap this and that, they take all that liquid and stuff from your nose and mouth, and they take it to a laboratory. Carrie Mullis is the inventor of PCR, of the PCR test. He died in 2019, right before this mess happened, which is strange, I must say. It's strange. And I've looked him up, and I've seen videos of him, and you can do that too. He talks, because he invented PCR, I think around 1984, 1985. And, when the AIDS pandemic has been going on, for those who are old enough, they would remember that the AIDS epidemic, rather, hospitals and everything were using PCR to test for AIDS, for HIV, for the HIV molecule or whatever, the virus. And he made it very clear that his PCR test is not made, is unable to test for infectious disease, virus, anything infectious, viruses, anything viral cannot be tested with PCR. He said that, the inventor of PCR, which everyone is using to test for COVID-19, which is what? A virus. Just think about that for a little while. I'm not asking you to believe me. Please do your research and see for yourself. There was a man known as Carrie Mullis. He did exist. He's a real human being who just died in 2019. and he is really the man who invented the test that they are testing, everyone is testing for COVID-19. How many doctors even know this? How many, because I've seen doctors talking about this. Oh yeah, PCR, we're testing for COVID-19. How many doctors know that the inventor of this test said very clearly, and I even uploaded a video on my channel, you can check it out, and I even subtitled it into French so that even those who don't speak English, who don't understand English, who speak French can understand, because French is my second language. And I know a few doctors, and I've spoken to them about this. And of course, doctors are very different. There's virologists and there's ophthalmologists and all these kind of different doctors. And when I told them this stuff, they were just confused. They were like, so look, they said that yeah, they use the PCR test to detect genetic material, which is true. This is what PCR does. It detects genetic material. And another thing, it does not show you how much genetic material you have. So genetic material, we all have this genetic material that they're testing for. Everyone has it. A lot of people have it. Most people have it. Most people have it. The vast majority of humanity have it. I don't know the statistics about that, but I know that most people have it. Thing is, when you're sick, cancer, whatever, you have it in large quantities. Okay? If you're not sick, if you're healthy, you either don't have it or you have very, very small, percentage of it. So what they're doing is they're testing for this genetic material, which is not a virus. Let me explain to you something, because some of you might be confused, as I was in the beginning, until I did a lot of research and listened to what a lot of doctors, scientists, very well-renowned doctors and scientists have been saying about this, including Kary Mullis, the inventor of PCR. You see, there's genetic material. So let me leave that aside for a minute and talk about Koch's postulates. Koch's postulates. Koch, or Koch, spelled K-O-C-H. So there was a man named Robert Koch, or Koch, in Germany, I think a century ago. You can look him up too. He existed. Okay, I'm not talking nonsense. He did exist. He invented this procedure called Koch's postulates, which is a procedure of 4 steps. This procedure has become universal in medicine ever since. So what this procedure is for is to be certain that this something is causing this. Koch's postulates goes like this. Step 1. You bring people who have the same symptoms, which you suspect have a certain disease, which you want to, detect. Step 2. You isolate this disease, in this case virus, from the patients. You isolate it. A lot of people who think they're all scientific and stuff, they don't even know this medical term. You isolate a virus, meaning you take the virus from the body, and you put it somewhere where you can say this is the virus. There's no genetic material mixed with it or anything. It's there. This is it. Okay? So you can see it under a microscope and you'll be like, there it is. It's not mixed with anything else. This is very important in Koch's postulates. It shouldn't be mixed with any genetic material. Genetic material is one thing, virus is another. They take the virus, which in this case is the virus. It's supposed to be. They isolate it. Third step. You bring a healthy host. Usually, they would bring mice, rats, anything like that. an animal or a human being, but they rarely do that. A healthy host, living host. They inject, you should inject this virus or whatever you found, which you isolated, into the host, the healthy host. And the host should start having the same symptoms as the other, hosts or patients that you've isolated the virus from. Fourth and last step, you take genetic material. Now you don't isolate right now, the virus again. You take genetic material. This genetic material that they're talking about, that they're detecting under the PCR. You take the genetic material and you put it in another second healthy host, living host, of course, and they should get the same symptoms. Only when you have done this procedure can you be sure, 100%, 1,000% sure that something exists. They did not conduct Koch's postulates in China or wherever they so-called discovered this disease, which they call COVID-19, this virus. They did not do that. Please don't be mad at me. YouTube, whoever is watching, please don't be mad at me. I'm just a messenger. I'm not a doctor. I just see and hear, and I bring the message to you, and I tell you, hey, if you want to make sure that what I'm saying is true, please do your research. It's all there. It's all there. Okay? I'm just another human being like everybody else. I'm a concerned human being. That, maybe that's the difference. Very concerned about these things. And I'm very curious, and I like to learn, and I like to understand things. I don't like to just accept whatever anyone says and, oh, just do this or else. No, I want to understand. And we all have the right to understand what's going on. And we should. It is very important. Because if you don't understand what's going on, anyone can tell you anything and you can accept it. And what do you become? You just become, whatever you want to call it. Slave, robot, whatever you want to call it. But, same thing. You don't think for yourself. You're not aware anymore. So I'm someone who practices yoga, who even transmits yoga, teaches yoga, meditation, all these things, even martial arts. And I've studied under Sadhguru Jagyavasudev in Isha Foundation. I have immense respect for the master. Of course, immense love and respect. But even him, I am so blown away because even him is talking about this virus as if he knows that they've detected it, and yes, and you got to be careful and this and that. I'm not saying don't be careful. Of course, you got to be careful. You got to be, you got to watch out for yourself. But inform yourself, please. Inform yourself. This is very important. Okay, I'm not here to try to create problems or whatever, but inform yourself. Now, Sadhguru, he just accepts that there is this virus, COVID-19, and this and that. Why isn't he? And I don't know if he's watching this, but why isn't he asking these questions? Has the virus been isolated? Has Koch's postulates have been conducted? Why are they using PCR, which does not detect any virus or infectious disease, to detect or to diagnose for COVID-19, which they are saying is a virus? Why? So this is not about Sadhguru, but I'm just putting it in. Why aren't people asking these questions? You have to ask these questions, okay? And so, Koch's postulates has not been conducted to. There is no scientific sheet showing scientifically here's how we found it, which should be Koch's postulates, because that's the only way you conduct a scientific research in order to prove scientifically that this thing exists and here it is. They haven't done that. And whoever talks about this, maybe my video is going to be banned too, I don't care, but You know, my channel's not even monetized. I don't give a fuck. Look, uh, what they did was, what they said they did, and what they did, because they said they did it, of course, was, oh, we found genetic material from the first patients in I think in Wuhan, China. And this genetic material, oh, virus. That's not the way you detect a virus, I'm sorry. But you know why they're doing this? You know why they dare just go and be like, oh, you know what? We found genetic material. Yeah, oh, it's a virus. Because they know that nobody knows Koch's postulates. They know that nobody knows these steps. They know that nobody can, well, even ask the question, is PCR really able to detect viruses, infectious disease? They know that we're not going to ask these questions. Please, please go and do your research. Go listen to Kerry Mullis, the inventor of PCR himself, talk about this, please. I have the video on my channel, and it's not just on my channel. I took it from another channel to translate it. And he was talking about this, and I mean, he was upset when he was talking about how they were using PCR to detect HIV. He was like, these people have it all wrong. Like I wanted to tell them, that they're having it all wrong. Then one of his friends came and he was like, hey, if you want to get a Nobel Prize, just just shut your mouth. They can give you a Nobel Prize for your PCR stuff, but they don't have to give it to you until you're dead or something. He was joking around, which is very ironic because he just died last year, 2019. And then Kerry Mullis told his friend, but hey, you know that if you see something wrong, you will have to speak up, right? And his friend was like a revolutionary guy and stuff. He was he was defending Vietnam during the Vietnam War and stuff, and he was like, yeah, you're right. I would speak out. And so Kerry Mullis finishes the video by saying, we as scientists, and we have a responsibility to do the right thing. So he was hinting, he was saying basically that we have to say something because this is wrong. Like you're not testing for a virus if you're using PCR. You're just testing for genetic material. And the other thing is something which David. I mean, a lot of the stuff I've heard from David Icke and from others too, Andrew Kaufman, others too, is that something which is openly admitted in the medical field. This PCR test cannot even test for how much of that genetic material you have. If you have just a little bit, it tests positive. Yes, you have genetic material. So it does not test that you have positive virus. You have just genetic material, because that's all PCR can test for, genetic material. Virus or no virus. It doesn't care if you have a virus or no virus. Which is why a lot of people who seem very healthy and who don't fall sick are treated as, are tested, are diagnosed positive for this COVID-19 thing. So I think this is very important information, because once you know this stuff, once you are aware of this stuff, then you're gonna have to put everything else into question. Whenever you hear, oh, this year so and so people had COVID-19, a lot of positives, and you're like, hold on a second, you're using PCR, right? Yeah, no, that does not test for COVID-19. How do you know that there's a virus? You did not even isolate it. So either it's something else, either it doesn't exist, or both. And why are these people getting angry at people who are asking questions, who are daring to be like, hey, who are daring to challenge them? We should challenge them. Why not? Science is about debate. Science is about, show me the proof, show me the evidence, show me the scientific sheets that prove step by step how you found this out. Science is not about shut your mouth or else. That's not what science is about. And I'm seeing a lot of people who think they're smart because, oh, I know that there's a virus, therefore I'm going to be, social distancing. Oh, put your mask on. Dude, you think you're smart by doing this because you think you're so woke because you know there's a virus. You don't know there's a virus because you don't even know the procedure that that people have to do in order to find that there's a virus. I know a lot of people like that. They think they're smart. They're smart asses. They think they're smart. And they see me all with my hair and my beard and stuff, and they think I'm stupid. And they're all clean shaved and very nicely dressed, and they think they're modern. They think they're scientists, but they don't know a lot of science. Just like Sadhu would say, a lot of people think they're scientists, but they don't know science. They just know how to use their iPhone, and they think they're scientists. That's basically what they are. A lot of people, even people who have not even been to school, because there's a lot of people like that in Morocco. Parents of friends and stuff, who don't know any science. All of a sudden, when they are taking this seriously and be, oh yes, COVID-19, yes, it makes them think. It makes them feel smart. It makes them feel they're up to date with what's happening. It's funny, but it's true. And anyone who questions that, oh, he's not being scientific. Are you being scientific, motherfucker? Are you being scientific? That's what you have to ask yourself. Oh, yes, of course I'm being scientific. The news said there's a virus. There's a virus. No, that's not how things work. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to deceive you. To disappoint you, sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint you. But that's not the way things go. That's not the way things work. If you want to be smart, if you want to be intelligent, you got to do your research. You don't have to look for things which support your conclusion. You got to look for things which challenge your conclusion. That's when you know you're a scientist or you are scientific. Don't look for things that support what you believe. Look for things which challenge what you believe. That's how you come to the truth. That's how you arrive to the truth and to what actually exists. Okay? Please do your research. I'm not the first one talking about this, by the way. I'm just talking about this again in English. I might do another one in Arabic because I know that people living in the Arab world gotta know this, especially in Morocco, because that's that's the only Arabic dialect I speak. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks for watching.